Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Fanatic Rundown. It's officially 6 in a row for the Edmonton Oilers, beating yet another opponent that seems to always give the Oilers trouble. But tonight, the Oilers persevered. It wasn't pretty. They had to fight back, but they get the job done with a 4-3 victory over the Minnesota Wild. Evan Bouchard got the Oilers started in the first. Bushbaum puts the Oilers up 1-0. They were completely all over the Minnesota Wild in the first period. This could have easily been a repeat of the Carolina game. Marc-Andre Fleury was sensational tonight. I think he had 36, 37 saves on the night, something like that. He was just insane. He's the only reason this game was even close. He kept the Minnesota Wild in this. And despite their strong first period, Evan Bouchard had the lone goal. Oilers were up 1-0, but then the 41 seconds that the Oilers scored in last game came back to bite them in the start of the second period tonight. Minnesota quickly goes up 2-1, and then Connor breaks down the ice, dekes all the way around Fleury, just gets the puck in on the short side, ties it up 2-2. Connor always finds a way to make it a highlight reel goal. Ties it up 2-2. Minnesota does reclaim the lead 3-2, but Draisaitl on the power play tied it up 3-3, and then Bush with another power play goal in the third put the Oilers back on top 4-3, and they managed to hang on. The Minnesota Wild had some glorious opportunities to tie it in the third. Kirill Kaprizov missed a wide open net. There was a post there in the final minute, I think, from Hartman, or pretty close to there. So Minnesota almost got it back, but the Oilers managed to hang on in a nice change of events happening. It always seems to go against the Oilers, especially so far this year. But on this streak, the Oilers are finally getting things going their way. They managed to hang on and pick up the 4-3 victory. Overall in the night, Evan Bouchard with 2 goals and an assist keeps the offense coming, but also strong defensively as well. Paul Coffey has absolutely been a great influence on Evan Bouchard. And the best defense is a good offense, right? If the Oilers are in the offensive zone making things happen, then Bouchard doesn't need to be worrying about mistakes he's making in the defensive zone, but he has definitely been better since Paul Coffey came on board. So hats off to Paul Coffey for helping to turn around Evan Bouchard's season. He was struggling, but he has just looked like a brand new defenseman since that coaching staff came in. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, another amazing night. He picks up 4 assists on the night. As I mentioned earlier, the beautiful goal from Connor, deking around Fleury. Draisaitl's goal from his office, he picks up an assist. Connor had an assist on the night as well, so 2 points for each of those guys. Leading into the Oilers' go-ahead goal, Evander Kane had a big hit on Jonas Brodin in behind the Minnesota net. It was a borderline call, probably should have been a penalty on the Oilers. It was on Brodin in the numbers. Brodin left the game. I don't think he returned. Minnesota retaliated on Evander Kane, but Evander Kane chose not to fight back after the hit. Leads to the Oilers' power play, gives Bouchard the opportunity to put the Oilers on top 4-3. Evander Kane did have his parents and I believe his grandmother in the crowd tonight, so that might have played into him showing some restraint, because usually we see Evander Kane go right back after a guy. Evander Kane's not usually the guy to show restraint, but he did show restraint tonight. And yeah, I seen a few comments there about the hit. It probably should have been a penalty. The Oilers got lucky on that one, I think, that one not being called. But they also had some calls that went against them earlier in the game, so kind of evens itself out. It does lead to the winning goal, so maybe a little bit controversial, but Minnesota had their opportunities to tie it. They just couldn't bury it. So in the end, Matthias Ekholm was leaving with blood on his face. There was quite a battle there in the final minute as Minnesota was trying to tie it. Unfortunately for them, they can't get through, and the Oilers hold on for their 6th straight win, improving to 11-12-1 on the season. Obviously, this turnaround is just so welcome, so amazing for the Oilers here with the way the season started. Chris Knobloch, Paul Coffey, like I was mentioning earlier in the video, you got to give them a ton of credit here. I believe they're now 8-3 since coming in. I believe it's been 11 games now, and it's just been a world of difference here. I don't want to go back and be ragging on Jay Woodcroft and Dave Manson. I thought they did an amazing job as well. Did not want to see them fired, but what's done is done. And to see the effect that Chris Knobloch and Paul Coffey have had, you have to be really happy with it. They've managed to find ways to get this season going, and that's exactly what the Oilers obviously needed. We're closing in on the Christmas break here, and for the Oilers to be back in a strong position heading into the Christmas break is obviously absolutely crucial, and this 6-game winning streak has just done wonders, obviously, to turn around their season. Have another big game coming up on Sunday against the New Jersey Devils. I will be at that game along with Tyson from Delaney TV and Brandon from Gillies TV, so we'll bring you some live coverage from there, a little pregame show before the game, and we'll be doing the Fanatic Rundown live after the game. So you guys can look forward to that. And there was another note I wanted to mention as well. San Jose Sharks GM Mike Greer was in attendance tonight. Obviously, that doesn't mean anything's pending or imminent between the Oilers and Sharks. They could have been there checking out the Minnesota Wild as well. We'll see if this builds to anything, if Mike Greer starts following the Oilers around like the Oilers were following the Columbus Blue Jackets around. We know just regular scouting happens, but it is kind of more noticeable, obviously, when the opposing general manager of a team is in town himself to watch that. I remember last year, Anaheim's GM Pat Verbeek was following the Oilers around for 3 games. We think that was to do with Jesse Puljujärvi from last year. Obviously, nothing ended up happening until the trade deadline, so Edmonton Columbus was the big story last week, and so we'll see if something starts up between Edmonton and San Jose. I mean, obviously Mackenzie Blackwood would be a key target for the Oilers there, possibly Anthony Duclair, but way too early to suggest anything just yet. But just thought I'd bring that guy to your guys' attention. If you hadn't noticed that off Twitter, I believe Avery's Sports Show was the one that tweeted that out, that Mike Greer was there tonight. So definitely something to keep an eye on here over the next few days. But for now, Oilers are rolling. 6 straight wins. Offense is coming from everywhere. Nuge, Hyman, McDavid as a line just flying again tonight. Hyman also picking up an assist, so he keeps his point streak going. It's great to see, guys. I just hope the Oilers can keep this going, because this is just so much fun. And after that start, this is extra special for sure. So we'll see what happens here going forwards, guys. But for now, the Oilers are flying. We're loving it. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. Have a great weekend, guys. See you soon.